What's ripening, YouTube? Man, it's a really foggy morning today here in Southwest Florida. I just made a batch of my JMS, Jadam microorganism solution. So if you look here, I found this transfer pump at Tractor Supply. It was like on clearance sale. So I have that. I just kind of bolted it to this piece of scrap wood, and I have a battery here. The intake pipe is about 6 feet long, and all I've done was I hose clamped it to this pole so that I can open this up when it's full of, you know, solution. I can put this down, and this makes sure that it's actually down on the bottom instead of, you know, floating up in the top somewhere. It has a little, it came with a little thing, but it wants to pop off really easily, so I'm using this instead. So this way I can stick it down in the corner and I can go work and I don't have to worry about it. Also, if I want to transfer something into it, I can do the same thing. Like here's my Jadam stuff. I take the lid off. I can poke this thing down. So this just helps me to be able to suck off the bottom of the container. And then on the other end, I've got this, I think it's like a 100-foot hose. I just mounted these. I already had just sitting around, so I've mounted these onto the piece of wood. So I loop this on, and then I'm going to go out there once I connect the battery, which actually I'm going to put a little wireless switch on so I can have it with me. I've got this sprayer, and I can, you know, I've got all these different settings. You've probably seen these before, shower setting or whatever. There's my JMS. I just took the bag out and set it down. I've swapped out the long hose. I put it on the intake side so that I could reach over there and transfer this material into this tank. And then, so that's the intake now. Now it's going into the pump. And so all I have to do is plug this thing in. Alright, so I got my JMS in the tank. If you look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections on that grid, and I'm halfway up the first one, so that's 1/10. So if I fill it up, it's a 10-to-1 dilution, right? So anyway, I got that on the truck, and I've got my well pump over here, my gas-powered pump. We're going to hook up to my well. I still haven't finished all this, so I have to move my pump and do this every time. I haven't put a house over it. I haven't piped anything else. But anyway, I'm going to prime the pump up, get it flowing, and then fill this tank up, and then we can go out and spray. Alright, so the tank's full now. You can see we got 10-to-1 solution of JMS in here. I'm just going to start spraying. I'm going to start with the bamboo up here at the front. Most of it looks good except for that bed looking kind of chlorotic, so I'm going to give that one a good little bit of love. I did just put some organic fertilizer on all these, and then I top dressed with grass clippings from my field, and I'm going to spray onto that. I'm also going to spray into the foliage, but mostly it's going to be, this is a ground application. So this is powdery mildew, and it started on the canna lilies, and it's like raining down. Now it's on sweet potato. It's not really a problem right now, but it can certainly be a problem for certain types of fruit trees and crops. So what I'm going to do is test out my JMS solution and see how it affects powdery mildew. According to the book that I have, it's supposed to eliminate it. So I don't have the wetting agent that they would recommend you use, so I'm just going to spray it on straight. But this is a pretty good little patch. This is actually the only place I've seen it on the farm so far, for whatever reason, right here. So this is a good little patch. Sorry about the terrible lighting. Good little patch of it. And I'm going to spray the JMS on and come back and see how it looks in a couple days.